the third reason is that part of the temple is supposed to be for Gentile worshippers. Okay? They're not allowed into the temple proper, although they are believers in God. So they had a place, just kind of outside of inside the temple still, but outside of the temple proper itself. So Jesus was so angry about that. Because can you imagine, you go there and you want to worship God and you want to adore God and you're in prayer and you're silent. You want silence when you pray, right? But then you have all these people selling and exchanging, whatever it is that they're doing at that time. So that was really, really something that made Jesus angry. And he performed miracles. Of course we know. Why did the people want to make Jesus king in the first place?
Because he is the Son of God.
Because he is the Son of God. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
At that time they were still just learning, right? They were still just learning that it is in the end that they will conclude that he is truly the Son of God. But can you imagine having a king? Having a king that multiplies loads. You'll never get hungry. Can you just imagine that? Even if there's famine or anything in the land, the king, Jesus himself, he can just perform a miracle and reproduce more of the food. And so they will never get hungry. He healed a lot of ailments, all kinds of illnesses, even drove out demons. So they will never get sick. I mean, even if they get sick, they will get healed, right? And if they're, let's say, a king usually sometimes goes into battle with another, but in this case, it will be the Romans. Jesus will be against with. So, if let's say they are members of Jesus' army, if they got hurt and they die, Jesus can just call them to life. That's the kind of king they want. Even nature, there will be no tsunamis. He can just command the wind and the sea to cease. And nothing, even nature cannot harm them if Jesus is king. Okay? Okay, Jesus died on the cross. He resurrected after 3 days. He will never come again. Which one is a lie?
He will never come again.
He will never come again. This is all contained in our creed. He died under Pontius Pilate. He suffered death and was buried. And he resurrected after 3 days. He will come again to judge the living and the dead. So Jesus will come again. Although Jesus says that nobody knows when he will come again, because that will be the end of the world. And so Jesus said, nobody knows, even the angels in heaven, except my Father. Except my Father. He is the one who knows when the last day is and when I am coming back again. But that brings us to the question. If Jesus is God, if he's in the Father and the Father is in him, how could he claim not to know? Right? Well, how could he claim that, I don't know what my Father thinks about. I don't know what his plans are. Because that's essentially what he's saying about the end of the world. But if you think about it, Jesus did come as a human. And as human, as God, he subjected himself to human nature, along with its limits. He limited himself. So his knowledge was limited. Right? He has to experience things too in order to gain wisdom. You know, wisdom in the world and stuff. And yet, if he willed it, if he really wanted to, Jesus would have known. But that is what I'm saying. As human, he as God, he willed himself to be human and to be subject to the limits of human nature.